She was successful in her Octagon debut back at UFC 198. What a performance it was against Leslie Smith. She was the talk of the town, talk of the sport. One of the great performances that night in Curitiba. She is the one and only Cris Cyborg, the Invicta FC featherweight champion. She joins us on the phone right now. Cris, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Great
Thank you for this opportunity.
Always great to have you on the show. Let me ask you right off the top, how are you feeling? Because I read that you were bitten by a black widow spider. Are you okay?
No, I feel better, but it was last week. It was the worst time, and now I started training again, and I feel a little better.
Wow.
Yeah, it's scary. Really scary.
Did you have to go to the hospital?
Yeah, I was in the hospital 3 times.
Whoa. What happens?
Yeah.
Like, how did your body react to that?
No, you know, the really problem because I don't have fever, but my legs, when you look worse. But, you know, me and my family, my mom don't have fever. Anything you have, we don't have fever.
Wow.
And here, when you don't have fever, it's no emergency. And you know, I get a medicine, I take shot, but now it's getting better, you know. You don't know really it's a spider widow or other spider, brown spider, but the first beginner, the doctor see the bite, he think it's the spider widow.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
but good to hear that you are okay. Also came out last week. Have you signed a new 3-fight contract with the UFC?
Do you know I still have 3 fights because I signed before 7 fights. My division.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 145.
Yeah.
You know, I want to return 145. You know, but it's make 140 is easy. It's not easy for me. You know, I needed to see how I feel after everything rehabilitation. And my last fight, I feel good, but really fast just fight me in the Leslie. And I'd like to make like 2 fights, 3 rounds for 2 rounds per see how they'll feel 140. But I have more couple fights 145.
Okay, so clear something up for us, because after the fight at 198, the UFC came out and said that you were going to fight at UFC 201 in Atlanta against Germaine de Randamie, and then you came out and said that's not true. Is that fight happening or not?
No, I think this is too close, this fight. I really need time for make 140. You know, I want to turn 145, but I think Invicta needs time for develop more contenders. And I'm open I want to make the biggest fight, in my career. And if it have to be 140, I accept, but I need time for make the weight, because, I was 2 years training for make 140. Now I think it's getting better, but I was 2 years because 10 years ago I made 140 against Shayna Baszler. And if I make 140, my last camp, I run 50 miles every week. Every week, 50 miles. I had my ankle, my right ankle now, I had tendonitis.
Oh.
When it hurts bad, getting better, but because I have to run so much for make 140. But I can make 140 for make the biggest fight for all my fans, And I'm open for this, and I really don't know who next to be, but I'm already dying, I'm already training, and who will be ready for me, I'm ready.
Do you think your next fight will be for Invicta or the UFC?
I want to make biggest fight. Okay. I would like to turn 145, soon, but I really don't know what's going on. I think my manager will talk with UFC and then talk, and I'm start training already, and I have to just be ready. When people come, I need some 145, I'm ready, or I need some 140, I'm ready.
It was amazing to see the reaction that you got before 198 from a media perspective. You got more attention than any other fighter on that card. And when you won, everyone was talking about you. And it led me to start thinking, why don't they just make a 145 division? Why force you to cut 5 more pounds, a division that doesn't exist, just to prove some kind of point? Have you asked them this question? Make a 145 division. I'm a big star. People care about me, and I'll fight whoever you want. People can come up. Let's just do this. Why can't we continue this way? Have you had that, or you and your manager had that discussion with the UFC that you could just fight at your natural weight class of 145?
You know, and I think a lot of years I'm asking for this, you know, from a division 145, and then say don't have a lot of girls 145. I really think have a lot of girls, you know, but then say it's hard to make one division 145 for now, and then open for me 140, you know, before then say impossible fight my UFC. And I don't have any dream in my heart anymore about this, and I make this fight 140, and I think then I'll let it open a little bit because, you know, then make a more super fight for me, and I feel very blessed about this because, you know, my city, I was not fighting my city almost 10 years, and I think it's very blessed. And when I fought Gina Carano, you know, that was the biggest fight, you know, crowd in North America.
Yeah.
Watch this fight. And the Elite XC, Strike Force, you know, was a big event, but nothing like what UFC, you know, did in Brazil for me. I think it's really nice. And my social media is really big before I be in UFC, but I think UFC helped a lot to grow my name even bigger. And, you know, I'm open for a big fight. And I would like, man, it'll be my dream, make my division 145 in UFC.
Yeah.
And, you know, I this is my work, you know, I have to be ready, you know, make me sad don't have my division, but then open for me can possibly make 140 fights, and I can make a biggest fight, you know, for all my fans. And, you know, ESPN, you say I'm number 1 pound for the pound in women's MMA, and I think if UFC, you know, wants to invest in women's MMA, I think, you know, I think I have to be UFC because it's a for growing women's MMA. And I'm doing this by myself for almost 10 years. And, yeah, but, you know, I have just to wait and train and see what my manager tells talk to me later. I don't know.
Cutting to 140, was it harder than you thought? Like, do you really want to do this again?
You know, when you think about it, say, man, I don't want. You know, if you really think, I don't want. And because it's really hard, really stressful. You don't have any life, you know. You know, I love training. I train a lot, but for 140, it's worse because you eat a little bit, and you have to run every day. Man, I run every day, 6 miles in the morning, 6 miles in the nighttime, and they train MMA, train other arts too. And man, it's a lot of work. You know, it's a lot of work, and that I'm very happy that I make the first time on 40. I really scared that I'll make weight. And I really don't want to embarrass my family, my name, my team, and my city. And it's a lot of pressure with my last fight. And, man, it's no easy, you know. It's really hard. And George Lockhart worked very good with me. It's 2 years for doing this. And, you know, I think we need time, you know, some time for between this fight, between on 40 all the time. I think it's not very good for my body. But, you know, I have time for, you know, relax a little bit and start again.
After experiencing the cut to 140, do you think there's any way that you can make 135?
No, I already take out this on the table, you know. I already take out 135 for me. And I want to be in my division 145 and make super fights 140. And for now, in my mind, I don't have 135 in my mind, you know. It's everybody watch my wins and see how I look like 140.
Yeah.
And everybody, you look nice. Yeah, man, I didn't make up. I make my hair. Of course, I look nice, but, you know, it's no easy. It's really stressful. And man, I stress not just my life, but everybody around me, you know?
Sure.
You bad mood all day. And, man, you know, it's my life. Everybody know, you know what I'm doing. And, yeah, but let's see if you have the biggest fight, you know, 140. I want to do big fight in my career, you know. I don't want to give up. And I want, of course, to grow in my 145, my division. And because as I make my event, I will have my Women's MMA for championship July 2 in Orange County.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, and you have all the girls, all divisions. And if it'll be amateur fight, I think, because I want to help grow Women's MMA. You know, 10 years I'm doing this. You know, 10 years. Everybody say, Ronda Rousey started Women's MMA. No, I'm started before Ronda Rousey, you know. Mm-hmm. She just started fighting biggest events. You know, the people more look, a lot of people do watch it. But, man, I started a long time ago. and I wanted to open the door for other girls and have the opportunity for fight and to see what division they want to be. And because this will be all divisions, and it'll be July 2. Everybody want any information, watch my Twitter.
Yeah. I've seen this on your Instagram. July 2nd at the Yost Theater in Santa Ana, California. You're putting on an event for amateur women's MMA, correct?
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
Genesis.
Well, yeah, very nice. Get Down Fights 22. You talk about big fights, Chris. Obviously I saw on your Instagram as well, you did the Running Man challenge with the Ronda Rousey face. Is that the perfect scenario? Like, do you think that this is a possibility now? The next fight is you versus Ronda, maybe Madison Square Garden. Like, can this actually finally happen? What do you think?
I think this fight have to happen. I think Ronda Rousey speaks a lot of things about me, a lot of bad things, and everybody, a lot of fans forget about, I never forget about, but, I don't like fighting between medias, anything, but, I would like to fight her in the cage. I think we have, a lot of things for talking in the cage, outside the cage. And, I hope she's back, I hope she's coming back. And I don't know, rematch at home. I don't know, make a big fight again.
Yeah.
And they want to fight. I don't know, man. If I lose someone, I want to fight soon. I know you don't have time for wait, because the girls' career, we athletes, it's no long time. A long time you can be a fighter and athlete. You have to get the opportunity and fight. I think it'd be an amazing fight, and all the fans don't see. I think it'll be the biggest fight ever. Me and Ronda Rousey, everybody want to watch.
How come in the cage you didn't call out Ronda Rousey after your fight? Why didn't you do that?
Because in the beginning, my manager told me the opportunity I had is this fight 140. It's just one time, and I was, but we understood, the night, but we began to think just this opportunity I had make 140 in Brazil.
Okay.
And because this, I back my division, I really just train, and I know it's the first step is defense my belt, because as I said that, and because Ronda Rousey, she's even don't fight, I think almost 2 years she out the cage. And I don't know. I don't ask for fight. I think the people and my fans and matchmaker, Sean Shelby and Shanna can make my fight for me.
Okay, so you haven't asked the UFC, I want Ronda Rousey, let's do this. I will make 140 if you get me Ronda Rousey. You guys haven't made that offer?
This is something you don't need to ask. I think
sure.
They already know this
yes.
is be biggest fight, women's MMA fight.
Sure.
I think I don't have to ask this. I think they know I'm not choose opponent. Then they know this, and they don't have to ask it. They already know.
But just so I understand you would be interested in making, or you would be willing to make 140 if it's a big fight like a Ronda or a Holly Holm. But some of these other fights, you don't want to go through the trouble if it's not a big fight. Is that fair?
I know. I think because it's really hard to make 140.
Yeah.
And I would like to make super fights.
Yeah.
And if I want to keep my division, but if it happens super fight for me and my fans would like to watch this fight. Why not? I'm not scared for lose. I'm. This is my job. I always have to be ready for the battle, and doesn't matter. Make 140, 145. Now I did the first time 140, but it's really hard. Yes, but it have to be biggest fight. It have to be something special. In Brazil, really special because in my city. I'm 10 years I don't fight in my city, and because I accept the challenge. I very thankful for Leslie accepted this fight for this dream come true, but I just really accepted this fight and make a lot of sacrifice, make 140 because it's in Brazil, Curitiba.
And do you feel like that moment in Curitiba was one of the greatest moments, if not the greatest moment of your life? Like just being home, UFC finally winning that way. Is it fair to call it that?
Really special. I think all the fans in Brazil. It's to my heart, when I go inside the semi-normal, I walk in the cage, semi-normal, I walk in all my fights, but I feel really different. You know, all the fans and the crowd and the crazy and say my name and my mom over there, my dad over there, my brother, my family, my friends. All people, when I start training, I watch my first punch over there.
Wow.
It's really special. Yeah, really special. And of course, it'll be my heart and the hearts of all my fans over there. You know, I think it'll be really special. And I think all the people share it with me, you know, BUFC, because everybody will look with me in my career and they know how much I sacrificed my life and my training, everything, and overcome about the doping and the UFC, and you know, in Brazil it's amazing. It's amazing.
Two last quick questions. First, why do you think they put it out there that you were fighting de Randamie on 201? Do you think that they were trying to put pressure on you to accept the fight? Why do you think that came out?
You know, I really don't know. This time I think they didn't say it's they want to do. I think because it's the strike girl. They don't say this fight really happened, but I think they didn't want to do this fight because it'd be two strikers. Didn't think it'd be an amazing fight. But I don't think sure. Then you know something. Then want to do. I think.
Okay, and if you could predict for us, when and against who do you think your next fight will be? Do you have any kind of prediction?
You know, the biggest fight will happen now this 2 months. Holly Holm, Miesha Tate.
Yeah.
And I think he probably will fight after this fight.
Okay.
And let's see what happens. You know, let's see who wants to fight me. Miesha says she can fight me 140.
Yeah.
Let's see. You know, a lot of people like to say, but no one signed the contract. Nobody signed anything. But you know, I'm waiting. You know, and see who next 140 and 145. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I just start training, you know. Spider bite making me stronger than before. And yeah, I start training, I'll be ready and diving too, and let's see what's next.
Not only are you
what my fans want to watch.
Yeah.
Who my fans want to watch my next fight, you know, put Twitter, ask for the night, Shanna, and put for me who you guys want next. I'm ready.
I'm pretty sure I know who they want you to fight. We'll see if it happens. Not only are you a cyborg, now you're a Spider Woman as well, which is a scary thought for your opponents. Chris, congratulations on the big win. It was great to see all the love and attention that you were getting from the media, from the fans and everything. Very much deserved. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for clearing the air. And I'm happy to hear that you're okay after the spider bite. Obrigado. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon. Good luck.
Okay, thank you, Ariel. Thanks for the opportunity. You know, we know a long time ago. I know you interviewed me a long time, and you know, God bless you. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for all my fans. Always.
Thank you so much. There she is, Cris Cyborg, stopping by. Great stuff from her. As always, great to get her perspective on where she is or when she is going to fight, what weight class against who. A lot up in the air. Doesn't appear right now that she'll be fighting at 201 against Germaine de Randamie, and who can blame her? Getting down to 140 is just, it's a nightmare. It's really tough. You need big fights to get that motivation to go down. I just think they should make the 145-pound division. Have a dominant champ. Have her kick some butt. You know, have people come up if they want to fight her. Get that attention. Get that money. And if they can't, now you got someone kicking ass at 145 and establishing that division. The problem isn't the dominant champion, in my opinion, and especially one who can draw. Clearly, she can draw. The problem is if you don't have a dominant champion. They have the dominant champion. And they have enough people who are comfortable fighting at 145, in my opinion, who can sustain that division. We thought that 135 had no future with Ronda. You know, she was just too dominant. And look what's happened now. It will happen at 125. It happened at 185. These things go up and down. Cyclical. And to me, it would be a shame from a UFC perspective, from a business perspective, to miss out on having her on the roster, having her on your cards, considering how big of a draw she is. She's a draw. People care about her.